Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Place we talk about anything and everything that is geek, whether it be TV, comics, movies, video games. And I just want to start off by making a correction from the last video. I said up to that point, I said the last video I made was coming attraction for 2018. I messed up. Come to find out, the last video that was posted was 2017 year in review, so that was my bad. So at least that was my bad. Sorry about that. But as I said, I was going to at least try to make about 5 videos in a row, and I hope y'all are enjoying the new format of being kind of like a podcast. So, and first I'm gonna start off by first video of this new format I'm gonna make is addressing what's been going on with Disney lately. As y'all are aware, last year, y'all know I don't have any love lost for Disney at all. I think they're personally playing a lot of dirty tricks and dirty business practices by sabotaging the competition. And y'all personally know I think they sabotaged on Batman v Superman with a lot of underhanded stuff. A lot of y'all may not believe that. A lot of y'all do. But like I said, I think they personally sabotaged that. But it just keeps getting worse with Disney. As y'all know, last year they bought 20th Century Fox, which means now basically anything that is made under 20th Century Fox banner is now property of Disney, which means I've heard stuff like Home Alone and I guess Independence Day, Alien, Predator, anything put out by them is now property of Disney Corporation, which to me, it just makes me shudder. I know a lot of Marvel fans out there are celebrating that. Finally, they have gotten Fantastic Four back, they got X-Men back, all this stuff. That's not necessarily a good thing considering what happened recently at Comic-Con and the stuff they've been announcing for Phase 4. And it's a lot of the same stuff that is basically helped to sink them before, and basically it's a lot of the same shenanigans that Marvel Comics and mistakes that Marvel Comics have been making before that has basically helped to sink them in terms of quality of comics, and now they're pulling the same stunts in the MCU, and it's basically going to sink them. But I'll get more to that later. But after seeing what's been going on there, it don't look very promising, and it just makes me shudder to think that now Predator is basically property of Disney. Alien and Predator are now Disney properties technically, and it just makes me shudder. The fact that Disney, it got me to thinking with all this that's going on, Disney looks to me like they're trying to take over the world of entertainment. To me, the fact that they're doing this, and then this year it just got the whole thing. I know I always harp on Batman v Superman getting sabotaged by Disney. Well, I'm beginning to see that it's stretching beyond just sabotaging DC Comics, and as it's going beyond just sabotaging any DCEU movie that comes out so that Marvel will stay on top. It's more than just that. It's anything that stretches beyond the Disney brand. I've got several prime examples of that. First of all, early this year, Captain Marvel came out, and due to a lot of things that Brie Larson has said in the media, and a lot of the so-called politics that is in some of these movies, that folks basically took personal offense to things that Brie Larson been doing, and they went on there and basically went on Rotten Tomatoes and voted it into the ground, and basically sunk the movie. And yet somehow the movie managed to earn $1 billion. And I'm gonna say it's in some of the most, they earned that money in some of the most underhanded way necessary. Case in point, the fact that there was a theater that somebody went to, and they said that there was a lot of the movie was playing to empty theaters, and yet somehow they were managing to get $1 billion. And there was somebody actually posted a YouTube video, not sure if it's still up on YouTube or not, but somebody actually went into a theater that was, went to see Captain Marvel in a theater that was actually, empty. I mean, completely empty. And it just leads one to believe that they're basically buying their own tickets back. They said they're basically, it's like, you pretty plain see there, they said they're basically buying their own tickets back. And that's basically, that's how they're getting $1 billion. They're just basically fluffing the pages and everything. They're just basically fluffing up their books and making it where it's just making it look bigger than it's actually doing. Also, case in point with the same movie is the fact that over there in China, they actually ordered less than they did with Black Panther because it was a bigger success. And with this, all that's been surrounding this, there's a lot of folks that won't touch with 10-foot pole, and yet somehow anybody that come out swinging against this, come out criticizing this movie because of the actresses' stance on stuff and the movie and some of the stuff that was probably in the movie, they come. So for some reason, Disney was defending this to the death, and to the point where they were like burying people's videos online. Like they were basically using YouTube to bury any video critical of Captain Marvel and especially of Brie Larson, burying the videos deep, where you can find. I mean, I could find them simple, but it's like they were trying to shut people up. And it won't too, and like they were calling people trolls. They were calling people trolls and just all sorts of horrible names, and saying they had favoritism towards this, that, and the other, just because of who she is and all this stuff. And it's just like they were trying to protect her, like she's some kind of sacred, like she was something sacred. And from what I hear, that she doesn't do a good job in this movie at all. And I'm not going to watch it because, well, I'm still in the midst of my Marvel boycott from 2016. I'm still not watching this mess. And like I said, now they're basically saying that folks are being trolls. They're basically voted it into the ground and all this garbage, to the point so that Rotten Tomatoes now has implemented something like you have to have a verified account to even get on there and review the movies. And ever since then, all I've heard is positive reviews about everything except for The Lion King, which somehow earned $1 billion also, but I'm getting to that later. But basically it made it where it's basically trying to shut people up, where they can't criticize anything, not just Marvel, but anything Disney at all. They're trying to shut people up. And it just gets on my last good nerve about this. And I said, to the point where I said, it's like that was the first step. I said they shut people up for reviews that they don't want. They don't want negative reviews. They only want positive stuff. And it wasn't too long after that they instituted this new rule about the whole about the whole verified account thing in order to get a verified review on their thing. There's movies like Brightburn, which I'll review later, and Godzilla King of the Monsters, which, by the way, is an awesome movie. Both of them are awesome movies. Both Brightburn and Godzilla are great movies, and you should definitely see them. I'll do a full review in future episodes. But they basically put out every negative review you could possibly imagine, got out about these movies, and it about tanked these movies. And about that same time, Disney put out its live-action remake of Aladdin at the same time. It's like they know distinctively that these big movies were going to come out like this, and they purposely put their movies to sink the other ones. And they put, and as I've said before, basically paying these, basically bought and paid for reviews that they'll sink anybody. It's like they basically sinking the competition, sinking Godzilla, sinking Brightburn, while movies like Aladdin and Endgame basically rise above the competition to the top. And on the subject of Endgame, it recently just topped the #1 all-time movie list. It topped Avatar just recently at the box office. It broke the record that it stood for 10 years. Has now been broken. And as I said, they've doing all this stuff where it's like they're trying to sink the competition. I said Godzilla was an excellent movie, and yet they sunk it with bad reviews. And everything that's come out of Disney lately has been nothing but good reviews. And it was just not too long before that folks were criticizing the living crap out of it. And it shows you they are playing dirty pool. They're just absolutely just rigging everything so where they would still remain on top and everybody else will not get ahead in the game because they are not Disney. And it just leads me to believe that, I know this sounds like an outlandish theory, and yet if you look at the evidence, you can plainly see this, that it's like Disney wants to basically take over the world of entertainment. They want to own it all. They want to basically ruin everything, run them into the ground when nobody else will make any money, and then they'll just snap them up. They'll just gobble them up, and everything will have will have a Disney property stamp on it. I mean, like I said, it sounds outlandish, but if you look at the evidence out there, that's what it is. I mean, and it's definitely not a good thing for everything to be owned by Disney, because you've seen what they've done to lately. You've seen what they've done to Star Wars. In the last video I talked about, there's a lot of big name movies that flopped. One of them being Solo, a Star Wars story. That was probably the first ever failure in the history of Star Wars, and it was under Disney's watch. I mean, they had a big success with Force Awakens. They had a big success with Rogue One. I mean, with a lot of criticism for both. And personally, I love Rogue One. But then you had The Last Jedi, which I said was a good movie. But after further evaluation, I've definitely said that it wasn't as good as I originally thought it was. And I might go into that in another episode. But still, there's been a lot of backlash, particularly over The Last Jedi and what was done to characters in that and everything that was done with that. It was just basically, they just wrecked Star Wars with that one movie. And then they come out with Solo, and then they further buried the franchise. Now later on this year, later on this year, you've got the end of the sequel trilogy in The Rise of Skywalker, which I'm going to say I'm actually excited for because I've seen the trailer. I'm definitely going to give this a chance, but they better not. And if anybody's out there seen the trailer, they know they hinted at the return of my favorite character, Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine. And as I said, I'm going to just say this right now, they better not ruin him, or else I will permanently lose any kind of faith in them running the Star Wars franchise. Because I don't know what it is with them and their certain line of politics that has infected these movies like this. I mean, first it was Marvel Comics, then it's Star Wars, and now they are pulling the same. I've said it before. I might go into more about the Marvel angle of it later, but I don't know what it is. But it's like I said, Disney's just trying to take over everything, and they're letting this brand of politics that they've got into everything, and it's just wrecking everything. I said I'll go into the Marvel side of it on another episode, maybe the next one. But as of now, like I said, it just scares me that one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna see on the news that they bought DC Comics, and I'm gonna definitely say, if when I hear that, I'm gonna be right on here telling you about it and letting you know how I feel about it. But what do y'all think about this? Do you agree with me, or do you think Disney's trying to take over the world, or do you think it's just a weird coincidence? Do you think it's just an outlandish theory, or do you honestly think that Disney is trying to take over the world of entertainment? Let me know what you think in comments below, and like, subscribe, share with all your friends, And I'll see y'all next time.